In just the past few days, Mojang released the first developmental snapshot for the next version of Minecraft, the Nether update. The update has brought plenty of brand new features such as new biomes in the Nether, new mobs, new types of blocks, game optimizations, and for the first time in the history of Minecraft, a material stronger than diamond, Nether Right. So that begs the question, how would this update affect the oldest anarchy server in Minecraft? A server that's been running for an entire decade with no rules and has been through most major versions of Minecraft. Well, I can tell you right off the bat that this would be the most game-changing update the server has ever seen. Just to name a few changes, it would make every single dupe stash on the server worthless overnight. It would usher in a new era of Nether exploration never before seen. It would help stabilize the server's player-run economy that's been practically destroyed due to item inflation and merchant discords. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. There is a lot to talk about today. So let's get started. Now, I know what you're probably thinking. Fit, why are you talking about the next version of Minecraft when 2b2t has been stuck on the same version for 2.5 years? Well, it's true. 2b2t has been stuck in the World of Color update for a while now, as the Update Aquatic and the Village and Pillage updates have both proven to be too unstable for the server to update to. In the past, applying every update to the server has been a major task for the server's admin, Housemaster. Well, it turns out that keeping a decade-old server that's terabytes in size stable is not an easy task. But starting with the Buzzy Bees update, chunk loading, and other aspects of Java Edition performance have improved greatly. It is very possible that 2b2t could jump from 1.12 straight to 1.16 or above with proper plugin support. Given enough time, eventually the jump can be made, and with it, the most server-changing update of all time. The first noticeable change that would happen at 2b2t would be the notorious Nether spawn becoming a brand new biome, a warped forest. That's right, since the Nether update is introducing new biomes to the dimension, 2b2t's Nether spawn would retroactively become this new biome. Seen here is what Nether spawn would look like completely ungriefed, according to 2b2t's seed. Now, the region on the server itself is constantly in a state of chaos. Even though no new terrain could be generated this close to spawn, the Nether fog would change to a slightly blue color, which would definitely feel weird at first. Since the player-built highways go millions of blocks in the cardinal directions, expect to have the Nether fog change colors constantly while moving through these tunnels. But speaking of player-built roadways, traditionally, 2b2t players haven't had a real reason to explore the Nether except for using it for long-distance travel. The last time players were encouraged to explore was way back in 2013 when Nether quartz got added, and briefly in 2016 when magma was added. But that was it. In 2017, the highway to the world border was completed, stretching out to 3.7 million blocks east in the Nether. While the digging crew managed to go farther out in the Nether than anyone else had before, it was just a straight line. Almost no one branched out that far. So other than the situations I just mentioned, there has never been a real reason for 2b2t players to explore the dimension itself. The Nether update would add so much new content that it would force the player base to actually explore off the highways again into uncharted territory. In the past, Nether bases would rarely be built because of how unsustainable they were, long term. The addition of being able to set your respawn point in the Nether would mean that basing in the Nether long term would finally be possible. You wouldn't have to go back to the overworld if you didn't want to. It would also give players a legitimate reason to go farther than 3.7 million in the Nether. Though because of chunk tracing hacks, you probably would have to stay on the move to truly be safe. Brand new Nether chunks can actually still be found as close as 40,000 blocks away from spawn, so players would not have to travel too far to find the new content. But I can't believe I haven't talked about probably the most server-changing aspect of the entire update yet, Nether Right. Nether Right has taken diamond's place as the strongest material in Minecraft. If you don't count bedrock, that is. but the equipment is created by combining diamond items with netherite ingots, a new metal that can only be forged using ancient debris, which will have to be found in the new nether chunks at low Y levels. The crafting recipe requires a decent amount of gold, meaning we finally have our first major gold sink since the God Apple recipe was removed from the vanilla game years ago. Netherite armor has more damage resistance and durability than diamond armor, making it a direct upgrade. It also has built-in knockback resistance, meaning that vanilla players will finally have something similar to anti-knockback hacks. It doesn't really make a huge difference when it comes to end crystal combat, but the extra durability the armor provides means that you will burn through less armor sets if you are fighting, eliminating another variable you might have to worry about, and potentially save you inventory space for items such as totems. Netherite items do not burn in lava, meaning if you die over the heat accidentally, you won't lose those precious items. Netherite weapons do more damage, and the tools last longer and are more efficient. While this is a major change to Minecraft's core gameplay mechanics, it has even greater ramifications for 2b2t. Why? Well, throughout the server's history, numerous duplication glitches have been utilized to create multiple copies of valuable items. Over time, stashes grew larger and more abundant. From just 2016 through 19, there were so many dupes that valuable items became practically worthless. Even players who had only been playing for a few weeks could amass great amounts of wealth just by joining during an active duping period. Merchant Discord servers rose up, with players selling duped shulkers filled with maxed out gear and items for real-world money via PayPal. Eventually, there were so many merchants that shulkers could only be sold for mere pennies. PvP became pointless because if you lost all your items, you could be back at spawn in minutes with the exact same gear. No risk and no reward. And even if you did lose everything, all it would take is a few cents via PayPal to be back to normal. This hyper-inflated economy completely destroyed the natural player progression you would normally experience in Minecraft, and even the normal cycle of becoming established on 2b2t. Now that netherite is the best material in the game, there is going to be an insanely high demand for these items. Unlike diamond gear, which has been duped to oblivion, netherite gear must be manufactured by hand, and players will have to travel a great distance just to start making it. This is similar to when totems were first released and players burned every mansion within a 1 million block radius of spawn just to find totems. Netherite could revitalize trade on the server and bring some level of normalcy back to progression. Now with 1.16 comes more potential dupes, but it would take a long time for netherite items to circulate as widely as diamond gear has. The process took 4 years and multiple dupes just to reach the level that it has. Now with unbreakable items and 32k weapons both being fully patched by Housemaster, it seems netherite is the way of the future. Finally, with the Nether update, we can't ignore all the new options 2b2t builders are going to have with all of the new block types. There are so many, and I'm not even going to bother listing them all. You can see most of them right here. The Nether update has already shown over a dozen new blocks and particle effects to build with. And not only that, remember, 2b2t would likely be jump updating, which means builders on the server would be receiving Update Aquatic, Village and Pillage, Buzzy Bees, plus Nether update blocks all at the same time. 2b2t already has some of the best builders in the Minecraft community, and they've been limited to 1.12 blocks for the past 2.5 years. With the additional options, we could see some of the greatest, most creative, and most vibrant builds the server has ever seen. It's going to be an exciting time to say the least. At the end though, it all depends on whether or not the server gets updated. But like I said, with each recent version becoming more and more stable, I think it's going to happen at some point. Could be 6 months, could be 2 years. Only House knows. But I'm curious to see what the other new features will be added to the Nether update. Maybe, perhaps, I guess we'll see. Anyway, if you enjoyed today's video, make sure to like the video and subscribe. Also make sure to follow me on Twitter and Instagram. Well, That's it, everyone. Take it easy, and we'll see you next time.